Superman versus Optimus Prime. Two extremely powerful alien heroes who will fight to their last breath to protect their adopted home of Earth. But in a fight like this, who's ultimately going to be coming out on top? And why is it much closer than you'd originally think? Well, let's get into it. Superman is one of the most powerful beings on Earth and its greatest hero. Born to the House of El, Kal-El is one of the last surviving members of Krypton. It was sent to Earth as a baby. Raised by the Kents in Smallville, Kansas, Superman now uses his incredible strength, speed, flight, and other powers to fight evil and protect the innocent as the ultimate symbol of heroism, truth, and justice. And for starters, well, Superman is obviously ridiculously strong. I mean, he's clearly no stranger to moving and lifting around planets. I mean, he's moved just the Earth almost more times than I can remember. He's pulled the Earth back into orbit along with Green Lantern. He's pulled the Earth again alongside both Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. He's pulled the moon before and just regularly pulled off planetary level feats. Heck, he's even managed to bench press the whole weight of the Earth for 5 days straight and only barely broke a sweat. Wasn't even tired from it. And that's just crazy. The fact that is nowhere near his max rep. And that's just everything we can quantify with science. Superman regularly deals in the extreme of extremes when it comes to strength. Like he's lifted an infinite book with infinite pages before. He's helped to pick up the Spectre, who is heavy as all eternity. He's held black holes in the palm of his hands. He's even pushed around a compressed solar system before. He's shattered timelines and broken the boundaries of space-time during some of his fights. He's actually even said that concepts like weight or even space-time have lost all their meaning to him. He's pushed apart whole realities before. He shook the whole Phantom Zone, an infinite, limitless, and endless universe, and even said that he could destroy it altogether. Yeah, Superman is ridiculously strong. He's also incredibly, ridiculously tough. Like, what about the time where Hawkman hit Superman with the Claw of Horus, which, according to Hawkman, draws its power from the magnetic core of the Earth, meaning that he was essentially hitting Superman with the planet itself. Or what about the time he was face to face with ancient devices that were causing massive earthquakes all over the world, and Superman was taking them head on, and doing it at the center of the Earth, just to throw a little extra on top. He was doing it standing in an area as hot as the sun and 3 million times more pressure than the Earth's surface. And that's just on the low end of what Superman is capable of surviving. He's been right there when 2 planets collided into each other, Apocalypse and New Genesis, which are much, much, much bigger than the Earth. He's survived supernovas, attacks that could vaporize galaxies, survived universes collapsing. He's even survived 2 Big Bangs, which were described as infinities that were creating both space and time. And then, as if it already wasn't impressive enough that Superman is ridiculously strong and ridiculously tough, he's also very, very fast. I mean, just for starters, Superman can easily go faster than light speed. That's for sure a given. I mean, he's flown from the center of the universe to the Earth in just 60 days. A trip that would take light itself thousands and thousands, probably even hundreds of thousands of years. And he can operate in a fight just as fast too. I mean, even just besides doing stuff like punching Doomsday literally thousands of times in seconds, he's able to perceive and move within microseconds and nanoseconds. Superman is very, very fast, and it's well within character for Clark to blitz opponents. using his speed in a fight to completely overwhelm them and land thousands of attacks while dodging all of his opponents. Clark's done it enough times that we can definitely say he'd do it here too. It's in his character. Then of course, there's also Superman's heat vision and his freeze breath, which is always significantly more powerful than people think. I mean, he's been able to pretty easily wreck people with his heat vision before in the past. He's even effectively vaporized Doomsday in his tracks, and that heat vision is constantly compared to the heat and temperature of the sun. Meanwhile, his freeze breath, well, it's allowed him to create essentially hurricanes before and frozen even Darkseid. Basically, Superman has long been one of the strongest heroes in DC Comics, and there's a good reason why he's considered to be the best of the best. He's Superman. So for this video, since there are so many different continuities for Transformers and so many different versions of Optimus Prime, just know that we're going to be solely focusing in on the IDW Comics version of Prime. Sure, there's the animated and the Bayverse that even showed up in Marvel Comics for a while, but this video is just going to be about the IDW version because it's one of his most iconic versions and arguably one of his most powerful. And buckle up because Optimus in Transformers goes absolutely crazy. Now Optimus might just transform into a giant 18-wheeler, but you gotta remember, this guy is a powerful alien warrior. He's basically like a robot Superman. And I mean that so literally. In which that means that he is incredibly strong and incredibly powerful, especially with his weapons and cannons. He's said to be the strongest Autobot out there, and he's been able to absolutely body other Transformers before, even some very powerful Transformers. Like he beat up on Galvatron, an ancient Transformer warrior and the first non-Prime Transformer to ever successfully kill a Prime. He's always been at least equal to, but usually superior to, Megatron. And Megatron isn't anything to scoff at. In fact, Megatron in his base form is powered by a black hole and was capable of destroying D-Void, or the personification of a dead universe. And you can actually scale it up even further by saying that D-Void was going to destroy the universe by fusing with it, and the dead universe already had many other universes inside of it, making this like a multiversal feat. And Optimus Prime pretty much always scales above Megatron. Optimus has even fought against and beat amped versions of Megatron before, like when Megatron was amped up with Super Energon or Or-13, which is basically the Transformers equivalent to the Power Stone. And that's just Megatron. Optimus has been able to defeat some much bigger and better Transformers too. Like Optimus was capable of shattering 6 Shot's armor, which is made out of the material of a collapsed star and metals drawn from the core of a black hole. So easily some of the strongest, toughest material in the known universe, and Optimus can shatter it with his bare hands. He was able to defeat Thunderwing, a Decepticon who was known as a threat to the universe, that was capable of sending out waves of destruction across the universe. And again, Optimus beat him all by himself. He beat Nova Prime, or Nemesis Prime, who after being sucked into the dead universe was chosen to be the host for the Darkness, an otherworldly counterpart of the Matrix of Leadership, which worked by transforming the inhabitants of the dead universe into undead wielders of the anti-life. And Optimus beat Nova Prime while they were both in the dead universe, meaning that Nova had complete and total control of the very universe around them. And Optimus still beat him. And just to give you a little bit more context here, Nova Prime was threatening to merge all the universes into one, meaning that he's arguably a multiversal threat. So that makes Optimus defeating a multiversal threat on his own, and clearly scaling above Megatron too, who's able to defeat universal or multiversal threats himself. Plus, Optimus Prime has even defeated the Elder God Cthulhu in a Transformers Lovecraft crossover, and Cthulhu is another universal being. So just another universal being that Optimus has put down. And that's just talking about Optimus Prime's power output. It's not even mentioning just how absolutely durable this guy is. He's an absolute tank. Like, for all the Transformers that Optimus has fought against and beaten, he's also taken attacks from all those Transformers too. He took numerous blasts from Nova Prime, who at the time was also empowered by D-Void, who we've already explained earlier. And Optimus just went on to survive all those blasts. He's taken blasts from Galvatron, someone who's powerful enough to kill Nexus Prime, one of the original Transformers. He's taken blast from Megatron, who, remember, was powerful enough to destroy and defeat D-Void. He's even taken hits from Regenesis Shockwave, a super amped version of the Decepticon Shockwave, who was all powered up with the power of both dead universes and or 14, which again is basically a Transformers equivalent to an Infinity Stone. In addition to all that, Shockwave was powerful enough at the time to cause the universe to have never been, and he was going to use that power to consume all the universe's resources. So if you're taking all of that and scaling it up to the best, it means that Optimus Prime is able to survive what looks like some pretty universal attacks. He's been able to survive kinetic harpoons, which are stated to be stronger than nuclear weapons, and he survived being stepped on by Trypticon, an ancient bestial transformer that's so big and so powerful that it's able to shake the planets and shake the skies in its fight. Space and time can't even tear Optimus Prime apart. And then if anything ever did happen to Optimus, well, Optimus is technically immortal, so he's never really staying down for good. He's always coming back at some point or another. And then there's Optimus Prime's prized possession, the Matrix of Leadership. It's a relic of great power, usually held by the leader of the Autobots, and it's said to be a conduit for the power of Primus, the creator god of the Transformers, so serving as a means to access the Transformers' afterlife. It can bestow new life or even provide the wielder with a way to communicate with the dead. Because of that, it's often seen as a significant item in the Transformers religion. But even outside of its divine connection, the Matrix of Leadership can also bestow someone with significant physical power, to the point where it's actually one of the few items that Unicron, the Chaos Bringer, fears, all because it embodies the power of Primus. And just how powerful is Unicron, you might ask? Well, pretty darn powerful. He's the very concept of evil and chaos, was the original Lord of the Dark Gods, and is a multiversal singularity. Only one of him exists in the multiverse. He's a unique being across all of reality and can travel between realities and universes at will. Unicron is even so powerful that his whole thing isn't just to consume and destroy planets like Galactus, but he completely and totally one-ups Galactus by consuming and destroying entire universes. And the universes in Transformers are huge. Each universe contains multiple dimensions, and sometimes Unicron even consumes universal streams or universal clusters, which are essentially mini multiverses, as they contain millions of universes or even quadrillions of universes. And yet, Unicron is afraid of the matrix of leadership. So when Optimus pulls that thing out, even guys like Unicron start getting worried. And this is definitely backed up too. The Matrix was fully capable of destroying Devoid, who we've already been over. That guy is comfortably universal, maybe even multiversal. End of the day, this version of Optimus Prime is an absolute juggernaut. He can easily stand shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Superman, with Thor, with Goku, and sometimes even surpass them. At his best, Optimus Prime is a multiversal powerhouse. Pretty good for a semi-truck. So, who wins here? Who's going to be coming out on top? Well, let's break it down. Now, both of these heroes are actually ridiculously powerful, to the point where you might say they're some of the most overpowered heroes out there. In fact, when they're both at their best, well, both of them are fighting on dang near universal levels. Like Optimus Prime has been able to fight with Nova Prime inside of a universe where Nova Prime had complete and total control. This villain was basically omnipotent within that realm, and Optimus still beat him. That's a universal feat if I've ever seen one. Optimus is also able to survive universal level attacks, so clearly he's ridiculously tough, and if you give him the matrix of leadership, well then even Unicron, the very embodiment of evil and a multiversal being, is scared of him. Yeah, Optimus Prime is secretly stupid powerful, but so is Superman, because you can very quickly scale Superman up to those same levels as well. He nearly destroyed the universe while fighting against another version of himself, or he's regularly been able to fight against villains who either had the power to destroy universes or were attacking him with all the combined power of a universe. He's beaten Darkfather with just one punch, an alternate version of Darkseid who possessed the anti-life equation. He's fought against fifth dimensional beings in a fight that happened everywhere and throughout all time, all at once. He's shaken the infinite realm of the Phantom Zone with just his anger and threatened to finally let loose and destroy it. And of course, after sun dipping, he was able to one-shot the World Forger and destroy his replacement multiverse. He survived direct hits from Darkseid with the anti-life equation. He survived being hit with the entirety of all the magic in the multiverse, the entirety of the Speed Force, and the entirety of the emotional spectrum all at the same time. Superman has even survived entering inside the source itself before, the ultimate energy source in DC that actually created the entirety of DC Comics. For all the universal feats that Optimus Prime has shown off throughout the years, Superman has him directly matched and then some. Superman has just proven himself to be way stronger, way tougher, but probably most importantly, way faster. Optimus Prime has absolutely no speed feats that are even close to being on par with Superman. Not when Clark has said before they can straight up transcend the ideas of space and time, and in moments cross distances that cease to be distances. Optimus will make the fight closer than you think. He actually scales to Superman pretty well, considering that he's a giant semi-truck with a gun. But there's just no way here for Optimus to actually beat Superman. Superman is way better in pretty much every way, and sometimes by a pretty large margin. Superman wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.